Thanks for watching this edition of the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch digital exclusive. I'm Dave Froehlich. We're taking a look at some of the crime stories that have made headlines recently in our area. We now know more from Austin police about what led to a recent deadly officer-involved shooting. We're told an officer fired at a man in a wheelchair after the man pointed a pistol at officers. Fox 7 Austin's Katie Pratt has the story, and we do want to warn you some of this video might be disturbing.
911.
He's got the gun sitting in his lap.
Okay.
But he was waving it around just a minute ago. Yeah, it was crazy.
This is a map here. West William Cannon runs east and west, and this incident happened on the north curb.
Several 911 calls came in about a man in a wheelchair waving a firearm and blocking traffic on Saturday morning at the bridge on William Cannon.
Listening to all these 911 calls, a lot of people around the scene. This was a very busy area. We're talking 9:50 in the morning. So you imagine on a Saturday, a quite crowded area.
It looks like a handgun, looks like a Glock to me.
The body cam footage worn by an Austin police officer shows the chaotic scene before the shooting.
I need a unit to get westbound and block traffic.
When the man in the wheelchair, Danny Palomino, saw the police, he started going in the opposite direction. Then in a video captured by a driver, you can see Palomino pointing the weapon at the officer.
Stop! Put your hands up! Put your hands up!
They yell for him to stop and drop the handgun several times.
And though this was a difficult incident, our officers did an admirable job.
There were a total of 6 shots fired by police. Palomino was taken to a South Austin hospital where he died.
I believe he's 45 years old, from Austin. He has suffered from some mental health episodes in his life, unfortunately.
APD later realized it was a Glock replica BB gun.
That's the danger with these guns. I've been in law enforcement for 33 years. I looked at the picture of this and I couldn't tell the difference at that point.
The officer who was involved has been placed on administrative leave, which is standard protocol.
Austin police say a man wanted for a murder that happened back in March is now behind bars. U.S. Marshals took Ken Outen into custody on May 13th after finding him on East 7th Street near Ed Bluestein. He's accused of fatally shooting Rex Johnson back on March 31st near 4th and I-35. Investigators say they've also connected him to a shooting on April 9th near I-35 and Cesar Chavez. He's been booked into the Travis County Jail and charged with murder. A costly break-in is forcing a small business owner to rebuild her livelihood. Police are still looking for whoever's responsible. Natalie Sterling runs a spray tan and permanent jewelry business in Round Rock, but lives in an apartment complex in the Avery Ranch area of Cedar Park. That's where the suspect broke in, stealing a significant amount, thousands of dollars of equipment and products. Fox 7 Austin's Williamson County reporter Lauren Rangel has more.
This is the space Natalie Sterling has worked the last decade for. It's so new, the grand opening balloons are still up.
What kind of got me into this was wanting to help others feel better about themselves. It's really, truly rewarding for me.
Her mobile spray tan company now has a home base in Round Rock called La Di Da Glow Studio. She also added in permanent jewelry to her services. But right now, empty shelves are the only proof of it. That's because on Mother's Day,
First, I was in complete shock.
she opened her Cedar Park garage to find $17,000 worth of equipment had vanished.
I had a carrying case full of a bunch of different chains and connectors and all the different tools that I use to make different pieces like this right here.
Every piece of jewelry and the mobile spray tan booth that started it all were stolen.
I felt very violated at the time and then just overwhelmed with sadness.
Cedar Park police confirm they're investigating and no one has been arrested. Back at her Round Rock storefront, Sterling says she'll keep her doors open.
I do forgive that person. I don't hold any hate in my heart. I just pray that they realize the impact that has been done in my life and how, my livelihood has been jeopardized right now. It didn't set me back fully. I'm already starting to, rebuild.
Fayette County Sheriff's Office says a dozen migrants were found during a traffic stop being smuggled in hay bales. This happened on I-10 on May 20th. Deputies say a pickup was pulling a trailer with hay bales that had been hollowed out. Several people were inside in what investigators described as dangerously confined spaces. We're told the coordinators of the smuggling operation are Houston residents who are now facing federal and state human smuggling charges. The undocumented migrants were turned over to ICE. Austin police have arrested 2 teenagers for the murder of an Infowars writer back in March. A friend of the victim is reacting to the reasoning one of the suspects gave police as to why Jamie White was killed. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has more.
Definitely do miss him. We all miss him very much.
About 2 months ago, police found Infowars writer Jamie White dead on the sidewalk directly outside of his apartment near his car, which was a Kia Soul. Police have arrested a 15-year-old and 17-year-old Eloy Camarillo for this killing.
Even though it brings peace, it's still also everything is like the world is crashing down on the family again whenever some new information comes out.
Court records reveal Camarillo admitted that he and others stole a car in Kyle, then drove to Southeast Austin, broke the window of White's car and planned to steal it to take it for a joyride. But White confronted them. He was shot and the suspects left.
It's so unfortunate that, kids that age think that it's cool to just break into people's cars just to ride around. Definitely does bring some peace. Knowing that it wasn't necessarily targeted to him.
Court documents reveal earlier that evening, the suspects had stolen a silver Kia, then tried to steal a couple more Kias before successfully stealing a black one. That black Kia was seen speeding off after the murder. Investigators say license plate readers, business and resident surveillance footage, cell phone data, and anonymous tips helped place Camarillo at the Chandelier Apartments off Douglas Street during the murder.
Even as an anonymous person, sharing that information, I know it can be very scary to bring that up. So on behalf of the family and, coming from me, and all of his friends, we're so super grateful for that information to be shared to the right people because, it did bring some justice to what happened.
Both teens face capital murder charges in Travis County. Camarillo also faces a felony theft charge in Hays County.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
Now to an update on a 2-vehicle crash at the intersection of Guadalupe and 15th Street that happened on May 19th. DPS says one of the drivers, Brian Everett Perdomo, was identified as an undocumented immigrant from Honduras. We're told there was a removal order on him from the U.S. government. Perdomo was taken into custody by ICE and Homeland Security investigators at the scene. The man accused of driving while intoxicated and killing a Texas fire captain has bonded out of the Travis County Jail. Here's more on that story from Fox 7 Austin's Katie Pratt.
The Killeen Fire Department is mourning the life of Captain Marvin Taylor III, who was killed in a car crash in North Austin around 1 in the morning on Sunday.
It was 100% devastating. It was pure disbelief, without a doubt.
An Austin police officer witnessed the 2-vehicle collision as he was sitting at a stoplight near the intersection of East Koenig Lane and Airport Boulevard. He saw a black Dodge SUV rear-end the blue Toyota Sienna that Captain Taylor was driving. The force of the impact threw Taylor's van 150 feet, and he was pronounced dead at the scene.
Marvin, it was very important to him to be the sole provider for his family of 5 boys, so that his wife Samantha was able to raise their kids and take care of all the needs.
Taylor was leaving the hospital and on the way to pick up his other children to meet their new baby brother when he was killed on Mother's Day. 34-year-old Rodney Brimby was arrested for intoxication manslaughter. According to court documents, the black Dodge Durango has electronic data storage, which allowed investigators to see how fast Brimby was going. The speed limit on Koenig Lane is 45, but the sensory diagnostic module showed Brimby was traveling 103 miles per hour upon impact.
This is a tremendous loss. We have continued the grieving process as an entire department. I don't believe that there's a single person on this department that Marvin did not interact with over his 10 years here.
Taylor is described as being a positive person who always found a solution to any problem and had a larger-than-life personality.
I remember one of his first weeks here, he came in my office and says, I know that this wasn't a selected assignment, but I do know that I'm going to do the best job that I can do, and I'm going to make you proud of the work that I'm going to do.
Chief Kabinski says the community has shown an overwhelming amount of love and support for the Taylor family.
We want to make sure that we set up the family for success for the long run and not just the short term. Anybody is welcome to drop off any donations, and we will ensure that they are delivered directly to the family without any issue.
Brimby bonded out of the Travis County Jail on Wednesday with a scheduled court date set for July 2nd. This is being investigated as Austin's 28th fatal crash of 2025, resulting in 32 deaths.
Austin police arrested 2 boys in connection with the murder of a man who was shot and run over while trying to recover his family's stolen car in Del Valle. We're hearing from the victim's mother now. Fox's Meredith Aldis has that story.
He's gone and he's not coming back, and over what?
Anthony Solis and his family were at their home in Del Valle. They were packing up his sister's car. She was getting ready to leave.
His sister came back inside the house and said, "Mama, my car is gone." And I was like, "What?" We were just out there putting stuff in the car for you to go home. And all of a sudden the car is gone, like within 5 minutes. Like, what happened? And he of course heard it and like, "What? Where?" Oh, and he's ready to go. And I told him, "Anthony, don't go. Stay here, just call the police, please. I know what I'm doing." And, and they went.
They went to find the car.
He did it to protect his family.
Robin Alba, Solis's mother, says she didn't think they'd find it, but apparently they did.
He never came back. He never came back through the door.
Solis was found shot, ran over, and killed near Ross Road and Throne Valley Drive near Del Valle Elementary School.
He was a good kid. He really was. He was very good. He was a homebody. He was my baby. He was my baby. He's 20, but he was my baby. And now I'll never get to hold him again until, And all for what? Because these kids don't... Why did they have to do that?
2 kids have been arrested, a 12-year-old boy and a 13-year-old boy. They're both charged with capital murder by terroristic threat.
I feel like at 12 and 13 years old, you know right from wrong. You know when you do something that's wrong, you're going to be into trouble for it. I don't like the fact that the system wants to rehabilitate these children and help them so much. Oh, they're children. No, hold them accountable. The parents need to be held accountable too. Absolutely. Because I definitely would not be letting my child out at 3 a.m. to go do God knows what.
While the boys go through the juvenile system, Alba says she's using her voice to honor her son.
Our voices need to be heard, that this is not okay for this to happen. It's senseless. And if our community were to stand up together and everybody stand up and then we're not going to put up with this anymore.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
Man is facing a murder charge after the body of a contractor was found inside a box in his home in northern Harris County. Jillian Hartman from our sister station Fox 26 Houston has more on how someone discovered that body while moving furniture and alerted police.
Well, neighbors say they are shocked, and this is something like out of a movie. Deputies say they charged a man after a body was found inside a box inside this home here behind me. This is video from the scene Friday morning here along Tim Allen Court. Deputies say Stephen Emberly asked another man to help him move furniture out of his house. That man then told investigators that he found a body in one of the boxes and then took off in Emberly's truck while Emberly was still in the bed of that truck. Now, he did crash into another vehicle and Emberly ran off. Deputies were able to track him down, detain him, and then charge him with murder. Investigators believe the victim was a contractor who was hired to do work at his home. Detectives are still working to find out how and when he was killed and why. Meanwhile, I talked to some neighbors today. They tell me this is very disturbing because this is typically a quiet street.
That is insane. That's something that I thought would never happen. Like right here in front of my house, basically, and I thought that was something that you only see in the movies, especially from the stuff that I've heard.
Now, the victim's name has not been released at this time. Meanwhile, Eberly remains behind bars. His bond is set at $2 million and is scheduled to be back in court next month. I'm Jillian Hartman for Fox 26 News.
Summer is upon us as we look for ways to cool off by hitting the water. The Austin Police Dive Team says it's prepared. Here's Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis with that story.
What vanishes must be found.
It's rare that we don't find what we're looking for.
The search underwater is much different than the search above.
Diving is actually the most dangerous job that we do, just based on the risks that are inherent in diving, whether it be decompression issues or hazards underwater, things like that. You can't see normally 2 or 3 inches in front of your face, so you're feeling with your hands.
The Austin Police Special Ops Dive Team is trained for underwater missions. They're deployed when the depths of the water become a crime scene.
So we go to Lady Bird Lake a lot. We go to Lake Austin, and a lot of creeks and less than clean places to go look for where somebody might have thrown a gun or a machete or some type of weapon that was used in a violent crime.
And when a rescue mission turns to a recovery, police take over.
The lake unit has sonar, so that's when we work together. And they'll usually, especially if it's a body, they will go and run their own search patterns and try to find something that may look like it may be what we're looking for. And then they'll mark it with what's called a peanut buoy, and that's where we will set our divers and set our initial search pattern.
And then they plunge into the water.
We use full face masks that have communication ability, so we're able to talk to each other sometimes when we have divers in the water. We are trained on dry suits as well as wet suits, so that helps us with places that may have more environmental hazards or that are, like I said, less clean, right? But also they would help if we have a winter dive or where the weather's colder.
But as summer approaches, he says his team of 12 is ready. They train 2 to 3 times a month.
We're always ready for it, so it's a state of perpetual readiness.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin, CrimeWatch.
Well, for more on the stories featured in this episode, you can head to our website, fox7austin.com, click on the CrimeWatch section at the top of the page. You can also watch our Fox Local mobile and connected TV apps. They're free to download. You can stream content on your phone, as well as on multiple platforms like Roku and Apple TV. Thanks for watching this edition of the Fox 7 Austin CrimeWatch digital exclusive. And don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel.